For years, the battle has raged about who has more spirit, Newport Greyhound fans or the Batesville Pioneer fans. Let's see if we can go find out.
I was a student trainer for the Pioneers, and I can tell you that no other team plays with as much heart and soul as they do. Go Pioneers!
I've been a Greyhound football fan for over 50 years, and we all know there's magic in those orange helmets.
50 years, I didn't know we were competing on who had the oldest fans. Thought we were talking about who had the best team. And you're going to need some magic because Pioneer never quits. Give me just a second, I'm allergic to dogs. I've been sneezing all day. Hang on. Yeah, Pioneer never quits.
Greyhounds have the best fans because we keep the tradition going from generation to generation.
Oh, wow! The Pioneers have my heart, and the coaches dream of this game all year long.
Yeah, they're dreaming about winning.
I was a Pioneer cheerleader, and I know the Pioneer fans are always on point.
As a former Greyhound lineman, I learned that Newport fans and the players always have each other's back. I'll pass on being anything other than a Greyhound.
While this score may never be settled, one thing is for certain. Both have limitless enthusiasm for their teams and their towns. And at the end of the game or the workday, we are not divided by our differences, but united by our passions. Kent's Firestone in Batesville. John Kent, my friend, how are you, sir?
Oh, alive and healthy, and had both of my shots, and we're fine. And you had yours?
I haven't, but I haven't been able to get them yet, but I think I'm going to be eligible sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, good, good.
And I'll be getting mine for sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. Linda Black has had her one and has another one coming up just in a few days. So
Oh, good.
We're good to go.
We just encourage everyone to do that because it doesn't hurt.
Much.
Wimp. It will allow you to be with friends and family and take this off. You may take it off because I've been shot and we're isolated up here.
Thank you, sir. We are.
And we're 60 feet apart.
We are 60. We are, my friend. We are. But
we want you to wear these out in public.
Absolutely.
Because you could say, well, I've had my shot, but I still wear mine everywhere I go. And I know that our politicians want to be popular and what have you. But, you know, they've all been shot and they're all isolated.
That's right.
You don't ever see them anyway, do you, folks? You elect them and they go somewhere and you can't ever find them again. But seriously, we're about to get through this.
Yes, sir.
And come out on the other side with a whole different world. It ain't like it used to be.
Things have changed, have they not?
And it'll never be as it was, and maybe that's not all bad, you know?
There you go.
Not all bad.
There you go.
So, Easter is upon us. Spring has sprung.
Yes, sir.
You know what they said on the Burma Shave commercials? Billboard. You remember Burma Shave?
I kind of. What did it say?
Spring has sprung. Next billboard. Grass has riz. Next billboard. Where last year's careless drivers is. Burma Shave.
I do not remember that.
You don't remember
I
that?
don't remember.
That was my favorite. When we lived in Michigan when I was a kid, somewhere between St. Louis, Indianapolis, there were those.
They're right in the road.
Oh yeah, they were. Burma Shave had all. I have the book of all the Burma Shave sayings, and it's about that thick.
Is that right?
Oh, it's cool.
I bet it is. I bet it is.
But that doesn't have anything to do with the tire business, does it?
No, but it's fun to talk about.
It is.
It is fun to talk about.
Nobody pays any attention to us anyway, so.
You guys have been busy.
Oh, it's
and that's
it's
why
wonderful.
you like it.
Yeah,
That's why
we
you like
appreciate all the folks coming out, responding. They got over the terrible February with all the snow and bad weather and power failures and trees down, and we haven't had a winter like that in a long time, you know.
Right.
Where it came and stayed.
And it stayed for a while, didn't it?
It did. It did. And never had it affect business the way it did this time. And people just weren't getting out.
Well, they couldn't get out.
Well,
most of them
but
couldn't.
there was a time before all this pandemic thing where they would have found a way to get out one way or the other.
That's exactly
and now
right.
people say, well, I just stay home.
I couldn't get out. Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't get out. I mean, there's a little ice on my driveway.
That's
Can't get
exactly
out.
right. Or threat
But-
device.
They're out now.
They're out. Yeah, they're out. And they're,
Folks, we ask you to be patient with us because by the time 6:45 gets here, there's 12 to 15 people on the lot.
wow.
Everybody thought they were first, so we sort that out. And then the rest of the day, it's sort of like you see the parking lot today.
There you go.
There's no place to park.
Right. Absolutely.
So, and that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. But we will take care of you. You may not get it done as quick as you'd like to have it done, but there's two choices. Have it done fast and not right, or have it done correctly and take the time that it needs to do it. So we will try to schedule you back the next day. We don't do appointments, but those that are in this morning or today that couldn't get in sort of get a priority in the morning when the
Absolutely.
lot's full. So we're grateful for all the business. We've had some good promotions going on. However, I will tell you this, that in the last 4 months, tires have gone up twice.
Right.
We got an announcement last week, 1st of May, they're going up again.
Right.
We've never had increases like this. It's anywhere from 7 to 12% every time. That's the cost of raw goods.
Yes, sir.
And you and me and you customers don't have any control over that.
No, we don't.
Whatsoever. We try to absorb some of it for you, but I can't absorb it all. So if you're needing tires, if you even think you need tires for that summer driving that's coming up, now's the time to get them in April before they go up again in May.
Right.
And I mean, it's not just one or two manufacturers here, it's everybody.
All of them.
And when one says I'm going up, you know what that means.
They all go.
They all go up, you know. So we were hoping that after this last two, that when Michelin announced they were going to have another price increase, we wouldn't have one. That didn't happen.
Nah,
did
didn't work, did it?
Didn't happen. So anyway, just saying to you, you can get them now and save. Used to be a little bit of money. It's a lot of money.
Right.
Because when you've added 10 to 10 and another 10, this baby here that was 139 3 months ago, and then it was 149, then it was 159, it's probably going to be 169, 179. So that's bucks, okay?
Yeah.
Now you say, I just don't quite have the money to get them right now, John, but we can help you with that. 2 financing plans, Bridgestone, Firestone, no money down normally, 6 months, no interest, or you can take 22 months to pay. Or if that doesn't work, we have our in-house plan where we can, with the help of another outside source, we can help you out. Costs 10%, that's all it costs, beyond the price of the tires. If the tire's on sale and you finance them, you still get the sale price.
Right.
And if they're not, then we'll try to make you the very best deal we can make you to get you on good rubber before the hot summertime. A lot of people went on vacation, spring break. First time in 2 years they've had a chance to go on spring break.
There you go.
I hope you protected yourself while you were on spring break. So far it looks like we're all right, except there's 27 states that have had a huge spike in cases. So we want to take care of you to make sure you're safe out there on the road. You need an oil change, we'll get you in. We'll check everything, make sure it's ready to go. That's like Mr. Jack you saw here just a minute ago, came in for an oil change. Jack?
Yes, sir.
How was your oil change today?
Oh, excellent, always.
What happened after you got here?
Well, they discovered my tires I needed new tires, and I went out and checked, and indeed I did.
He needed new tires.
He did.
So he got new tires.
He did. See? And that's because we're checking your car.
There you go.
Didn't cost him a dime for me to check his car.
And I'm glad you did, because
See? Look at
There
that.
you go.
Look at that. That's what we're all about. Customer service, finding your needs, pointing them out to you, asking you to buy. That's all we're going to do. I'm never going to say, now, if you don't buy these today, you're going to have a wreck on the way home, you know?
You know, when most people think that they need new tires, is when they go flat.
Yeah,
So,
right.
most of us run them too long. Most of us do, and you need some professional help. Say, look, these things are dangerous for you to be out on the road like this, even though you haven't had a flat tire.
When it's up in the air, you can see things you can't see on the ground.
That is absolutely
And they
right.
usually wear to an area on the tire that you can't see when it's on the ground, and you look down at the edge of it and you say, well, I've still got a lot of
Good tread.
And then it's slick on the inside,
Right.
see. And that could be from how long you've had them, from alignment. We can do that for you, get it all straightened out. But what we're saying is, whatever you need, we can take care of your needs.
John Kent, you guys do a lot of business. Now, do you have props we're going to use today? Were you going to use any of those? Or?
Oh, you'd like to see my product?
I would like to see what you.
Well, now,
what
I've been telling you how good the deals were. But in order to save you some more money,
extra incentive. I want the extra incentive.
the big
for
guy
sure.
that's going up on the tires is actually going to help us out.
Oh,
From now on through the end of the month,
okay.
today through 4:30, we have a $100, $70 rebate, 30 more if you use your Bridgestone Firestone
Okay.
card. If you don't have an account, we'll get you an account. If you can't get that account and have to use my account, you still get the $70. And this is on Bridgestone tires.
Okay.
Hercules has also announced the same kind of program.
Good.
$70, $50, depends upon the tire you buy. 2 rebates. Plus, we still have buy 3, get 1 free
Wow.
on several lines of tires right now. I bought some more specials. See, that helps everybody.
Absolutely.
That makes it affordable for you, affordable for me. So it's win, win, win.
Win. John Kent, Kent's Firestone, Batesville, Arkansas, and you talk about a winner. My friend, it's always my pleasure. You got anything else for me?
If you don't buy anything, just come by and say hello and get one of our soft mints, and you always leave Kent's with a sweet taste in your mouth.
John Kent in Batesville. For years, the battle has raged about who has more spirit, Newport Greyhound fans or the Batesville Pioneer fans. Let's see if we can go find out.
I was a student trainer for the Pioneers, and I can tell you that no other team plays with as much heart and soul as they do. Go Pioneers!
I've been a Greyhound football fan for over 50 years, and we all know there's magic in those orange helmets.
50 years, I didn't know we were competing on who had the oldest fans. Thought we were talking about who had the best team. And you're going to need some magic because Pioneer never quits. Give me just a second. I'm allergic to dogs. I've been sneezing all day. Hang on. Yeah, Pioneer never quits.
Greyhounds have the best fans because we keep the tradition going from generation to generation.
The Pioneers have my heart, and the coaches dream of this game all year long.
Yeah, they're dreaming about winning.
I was a Pioneer cheerleader, and I know the Pioneer fans are always on point.
As a former Greyhound lineman, I learned that Newport fans and the players always have each other's back. I'll pass on being anything other than a Greyhound.
While this score may never be settled, one thing is for certain. Both have limitless enthusiasm for their teams and their towns. And at the end of the game or the workday, we are not divided by our differences, but united by our passions. Well, we welcome to our program Dr. Stephanie Kiku Lavela, who is from the WRMC Surgery Clinic, from the WRMC Medical Clinic in Batesville, the White River Health Systems. And Dr. Stephanie, we welcome you to the program.
Good to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
Well, we got to find out about you. We got to find out about part of your journey, and we got to find out about what made you get into medicine. First of all, Dr. Stephanie, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm coming from Napa Valley most recently. And prior to that, I was in Texas for a bit, completing my training in vascular surgery, as well as Hershey, Pennsylvania, and Central Pennsylvania for medical school and residency. So it's good to be back in the South. And I'm glad to be here in Batesville.
Well, tell us a little bit about. I mean, you talk about your education. Kind of lead us through why medicine. Tell us why you got into medicine. Where along the way did you decide I want to be into medicine?
Initially, I just saw the scope of practice that my own personal physicians were having when treating me and my family members. And I loved that aspect of helping individuals. And then when my grandmother asked me when I was about 3 years old what I wanted to do, I actually told her I wanted to become president.
You can do that too.
I can do that too. So at the age of 3, I said, okay, I want to be president. And then she asked me again. And I had to think twice because at that stage I was a little too young. And I said, I would love to be a doctor. And then my journey started and continued. And as things evolved, medical school really taught me what I truly love. The surgical specialty was wonderful because when I was operating on patients, I felt I was making a tremendous difference in their lives because some of the things I do, for example, trauma and acute care surgery, as well as general and colon cancer surgeries, when people are at death's door, that's when you're able to make a tremendous impact on their lives. So I realized that slowly but surely that when you are able to take out someone's tumor and cure them of cancer, or when they're at death's door and you bring back someone's loved one, that's when you become the most humble. Doesn't matter which area of life you're in, what circumstances you're in. That's when you realize, hey, I have my mom back. I have my dad back. And that's what counts, not the stuff that your mom and dad gave you, not the things that happened yesterday or the day before. It's the fact that this person is alive in front of me and I have this person back. So I love giving that gift to others. It's not in my hands all the time, but when I do have the opportunity to help bring someone back, that's the best feeling ever. So I'm very blessed and grateful for the education I have.
Well, you talk about general surgery, and then most general surgeons have specific areas that you do. Kind of talk about some of the specialties, as far as your scope and what you do. You mentioned some of the things that you do, but kind of talk about the difference between all general surgeons generally have a specialty.
Yes. I love vascular surgery. And venous disease within that scope is very underrecognized. So I personally would like to focus on venous disease. So for example, people have legs that are aching. What's that about? Is there some disease process behind that that's causing it? Are their veins not working properly? And that's a highly underrecognized area that I would love to help individuals out. But not only that, the arterial aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because the arteries are clogged in your legs that you're having pain? So at my clinic, I will help differentiate between venous disease and arterial disease and help that individual go from point A to point B. The other things I plan on helping would be cancer in general, for example, colon cancer, skin cancer, breast cancer, and various different body organ cancers. It's too numerous to count, but I would love to help individuals out in that respect. And the other aspect would be genetics.
Yeah.
Genetics is very important. And in everyone's mind, at one point or another, you ask yourself, is there any lineage that's going to contribute to me getting some sort of cancer? And we don't have any testing that's generally available for the public besides in the medical field. So I plan on helping individuals through that process to figure out, do you have anything that gives you a higher risk than others around you to develop, for example, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, or prostate cancer, things like that? Because identifying something early helps us screen you for potential cancers down the road and gets you connected with a physician that's appropriate and provides you with the proper care. So those are the things I would love to help our community with.
Well, I think myself, just like anybody, you somewhere along the way, somebody's got to tell you cancer, and then that rings, just tremendous fear in everybody's mind. Where along in the process do you get to see these people? You get to see these people, obviously prior to what you're going to do, but I mean, you get to see them at a very vulnerable stage, and it must be a difficult situation sometimes, having to deal with the emotional aspects of a patient. Talk a little bit about that. How does that work?
I think cancer has touched a lot of us. So even in my family, I've had uncles and aunts who have had cancer. So I know from the other perspective what it's like to go through that process. I think I'm more sensitive to what the needs are of family members, and that tremendously helps me. And it is a difficult aspect. And I actually feel as if I'm contributing to that person's family, because you're not just treating the patient and their diagnosis, you're helping the family go through this process as well. So yes, it's a continuum, and it's not, I take out the cancer and we're done. It's more, let's make sure it doesn't come back. Let's make sure that you and your family members don't have a gene, for example, that made something like this occur. So it's me taking care of that one person, but also their whole family at the same time.
So how do people get to see you? When do they get to you? Somebody has to recommend that they come to see you. How exactly do they get to your office through the process? Tell me the process of going from just, I guess, your regular GP to you. How does that work?
Either the general practitioner offers a referral for me, or we can walk you through the process if you call my clinic. And I also have a website that I can release to you. And on there, it'll give you information on how exactly to find me and how best way to connect with my office.
Well, there's no doubt that you're a big plus, at White River Health System in Batesville. And I got to ask this before we get off. Tell me about family. Yeah, you have family?
Yes, my family is not here at the moment, but they will be joining me. I'm the only child, and I look forward to seeing the extended family come here as well. But my fiance and I are living locally, so we're getting accustomed to the area and shopping and things like that, as all new folks do in town. But it's been a great change. I've loved it. People are so wonderful. My staff has been great, and it's good to meet nice people.
Well, you have come to a great city in Batesville, Arkansas, and I actually live in Newport, and the biggest difference that you'll find out sometime if you ever come to Newport is in Batesville has very few mosquitoes, and we have a lot of mosquitoes in Newport. So you're 30 miles away from just getting eaten up by little bugs.
I look forward to visiting you guys up there too. I'll be traveling all over the place.
Right. Listen, Dr. Stephanie, we appreciate you taking time to join us, and I know it's a tremendous field to be in. And again, when you talk about the cancer part of it, I can tell that you just beam with excitement of being able to help folks in sometimes in what could be their not their best days, but their best days can always be ahead. And I thank you so much for joining us. Okay.
Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and it's great to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me.
You can see the information at the bottom of the screen on how to get a hold of Dr. Stephanie Kiku La Vela. Did I do okay?
Perfect.
All right.
Yes, you did.
Thank you so much, Dr. Stephanie. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.
Well, it's the White River Area Agency on Aging report, and I'm with Mr. Ted Hall as usual, and we've been joined by Billy Keaty from First Community Bank in Newport. Good to see you, my friend.
Glad to be here.
Mr. Ted Hall, how in the world is everything going?
Hey, it's good, and we're glad to be in Newport, where we continue to provide services for our seniors. But all of a group of folks like First Community Bank, what better way to be a part of them, and we do business with them. We do business with lots of folks, but we know that they're all about the community, and we're glad to have Bill today to maybe just say a few words about First Community and how long you've been here and any background you want to say about First Community.
Would love to. I've been here with First Community Bank for a little over 2 years. We've been open here in town in Newport, and we're thrilled to have been able to be involved in our community. We've got a lot of great customers here locally. We've gotten a lot of comments from people that travel from Batesville to Jonesboro and back through Searcy, and they've always wanted to have the connection here in Newport with First Community Bank, and now that we're here, we see a lot of out-of-town people come through that need to stop for banking services, and we're here to help them, so it's been great.
Great.
Ben, I won't ask you this, but a tremendous plus for the community, because that's what we stand for, community. I mean, it's just First Community in Newport, Arkansas, but you guys do a lot of stuff to give back to this community. You personally do a lot of things to give back to this community and the kids in the school here, but talk about your community involvement and what it means to you to be right here in Newport.
The main thing that I would say about what we do at First Community Bank is if a person deposits money here or does loans with this bank, you can rest assured that we're going to give back to our community. That's been the thing that I've learned the most in the last 2.5 years being with First Community Bank is the actual true commitment to the community that our leadership has given, not just to Batesville, Arkansas, not just to Searcy or Jonesboro, but to all of our branch communities. And in Newport, we've been involved with several different organizations, and it's been fun. It's been great to be able to help different groups.
Mr. Ted, that's what we do. We take care of seniors in our communities and cover a lot of counties and a lot of towns and at White River Area Agency on Aging, and that's just what we do.
Absolutely. You know, the virus, we hopefully is on the downside, but we've actually continued to work through the entire time this has been going on. And, we have 600 aides that are in people's homes every day providing baths, cooking, doing whatever they need to do to help our seniors. And so we're continuing to do that. We've continued to do that. And White River Area Agency on Aging been around over 40 years. So we just want to make sure that folks know we're here in town, been here for a long time, and that they can give us a call. I have the local number is 870-523-4982. That's actually here in Newport. And then our 800 number is 382-3205. So lots of times folks will call us and they'll have questions about whether it be Part D insurance or whether they need services for their loved ones, whatever it is, that is what we do. And we are the voice of seniors for Arkansas. We have AAAs all over the state of Arkansas representing seniors. And so whether we're taking care of folks in Newport or in Independence County or wherever, our job is to take care of seniors. And we also carry our banner, you might say, David, down to Little Rock when legislature meets, make sure that seniors are being represented correctly. So we have our representatives that are very supportive of us, so we appreciate all those things. And then also we have assisted living, which is what we call Eagle Mountain Assisted Living. That's in Batesville, and we continue to serve those folks even through this pandemic. And we were under the same guidelines as a nursing home, so we actually had our folks sort of, you might say, not literally locked in, but they had to stay within our facility. Now, they could be taken out, but they had to wait 14 days to get back in and all those kind of things. But anyway, all that's kind of hopefully on the downside. We're still a little bit careful about how we have visitors come in, but still we're still operating. And so we have HUD housing. We have 188 HUD housing units throughout our 10 county areas. So again, it just shows we're trying to work with seniors and making sure that we're taking care of seniors of this area.
Well, White River Area Agency on Aging and First Community Bank, overall First Community Bank in Newport with Billy and Mr. Ted just wanted to get with Billy and just kind of brag on what we do right here at First Community Bank Newport and how important it is for you guys to be a part of the community, just like White River Area Agency on Aging.
And, David, we did our last show. We started at the mayor's office,
right.
and of course, the mayor has been such a help to us in our senior center here in Newport, and he continues to help us, as does the judge. And so again, we're just kind of want to recognize folks that are active in this community, and we appreciate that, Bill, for you letting us be a part of what you do, and you helping us too.
Well, we thank you for showing us some love, but anything we can do to help you guys, we would love to. We're here for everybody in our community, so anything we can do, you just let me know.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Ted Hall, White River Area Agency on Aging Executive Director. What is your title, sir?
It doesn't have it on here, but I am the branch manager and lending.
Okay, Billy Keith.
Officially speaking.
Well, you need to get you one of those that has the little title there. Thanks, Billy, so much for joining us.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Bill, for
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you.
We welcome Dr. Doreen Camoga, the internal medicine specialist at WRMC Internal Medicine Clinic as part of the White River Health System over in Batesville. And welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David.
We've got to ask you a couple of things. We've got to find out a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us where you're from. Tell us a little bit about your family. Tell us a little bit about your education.
Okay. So my name is Doreen Camoga. And you did an excellent job at pronouncing it.
Thank you.
Great. So originally, I'm from Uganda. That's where I was born and raised. And then I came to the United States for education. But a little bit of a backstory is my husband is also originally from Uganda. And so we met there while we were in college. And then he came to Cleveland, Ohio to pursue medical education, actually in internal medicine as well. And so then I came to join him. And when I came to join him, I pursued a master's in public health because preventive medicine has always been very important for me. Very, very important for me. I believe that preventive medicine can make a huge difference, whether it's primary prevention, where you try to prevent a disease from happening, secondary prevention, where you try to prevent a disease from getting, from getting worse pretty much, and then tertiary prevention, where they already have a disease, but you're trying to improve the quality of life and to reduce the symptoms of that disease. And so I went to medical school, and then I came here to Batesville to pursue training in internal medicine residency.
I've got to ask you this, and it's kind of a funny question. You go from Uganda to Batesville, Arkansas through Cleveland, Ohio. How in the world do you get to Batesville, Arkansas? It always interests me, the journey that people take along the way to get to where they are.
Right. So in Cleveland, Ohio, like I said, my husband was undergoing training at the time. This is about 10 years ago. And so when he graduated, we decided that we wanted to start a family, and we decided we wanted to raise our family here in the United States. But I grew up in a farming community originally in Uganda. And so we looked around, and we found some jobs in Kansas. So he had his practice in Kansas before we actually came here to Arkansas. And I also taught for the College of Health Sciences at Fort Hays State University. So I was teaching for a little bit there. I was teaching epidemiology, which is disease epidemiology, pathophysiology, basically public health. Like I say, preventive medicine is something that has always been dear to me. And then we had children. We have 2 babies. Our oldest is 8, and then our youngest is 4. So at the time we had our oldest, her name is Alicia. We love them so much.
I know you do.
Yeah. And so at the time I thought, I think I'm going to go back. Because I think I would make a huge difference if I could integrate the clinical expertise part of it to the prevention expertise part of it as well.
Well, when you talk about internal medicine, and internal medicine is a little bit different than primary care or family medicine. What's the biggest difference in internal medicine as such as compared to the others?
Right. Internal medicine physicians are specialists who are equipped with scientific knowledge, and clinical expertise to treat a broad and comprehensive spectrum of illnesses, specifically in adults from 18 years old, until the continuum of health. I have patients from 18 years old to, I think my oldest right now is 98. And so, so we are not limited to one organ system. We are not limited to one specific type of illnesses. We are equipped to be very good diagnosticians to manage conditions from common, rare, simple, or complex conditions. And it's really pretty interesting.
I want to get into asking you about hepatitis C, and it's real important for patients to understand just exactly what that is. And tell us a little bit about Hep C.
Okay, so hepatitis C is one of the virus. So hepatitis C is a virus that causes inflammation of the liver. There's different types of viruses that cause hepatitis. So there's hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and there's other conditions too, which can cause hepatitis, like heavy alcohol use, toxins, medications, and some other medical conditions as well. And so what we're trying to get into here is to prevent that hepatitis, which is basically inflammation of the liver. And this inflammation of the liver can progress to liver cancer, liver failure, and multiple other ailments, because the liver is one of the vital organs in our bodies. It helps in filtering some nutrients, blood supply, metabolism of some of the medications that we use for patients. It's one of the vital organs, just like the kidneys, just like the heart. And so, but right now, there is actually treatment which is much more affordable than in the past years that targets hepatitis C. Now, hepatitis C has different genotypes. There's genotype 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's not a plan. I guess what I'm trying to tell the patients is that every patient is different. Sure. We have to figure out what genotype they have and then kind of tailor their treatment to, first of all, like, where are they at with this infection? Because so the interesting thing about hepatitis C, David, is some patients, about half of the patients who get it will clear it. And then the other half of the patients actually will go on to develop that lifelong inflammation of the liver or infection. And so it's that 50% that we're trying to target. And now there is a cure, directed treatment for some of the genotypes, and also depending on the patient profile, like I said, depending on where they are with their disease process. I think this is one of those secondary or tertiary prevention areas that really excites me.
Well, let me ask you this, and I interview a lot of doctors, and it's always interesting to me to find out where along the way, as you were growing up, as you were a young person, when did you decide that, oh man, I'd like to do this, I'd like to be a doctor, and then when did you decide internal medicine?
Right. So when I was growing up, like I said, I grew up in Uganda. It's a country which is plagued with a high infectious disease burden. And so there was a lot of preventable illnesses. And then when I moved to Batesville here in Arkansas, I feel like there's another opportunity where there's a lot of preventable illnesses as well. But people were just so desperate when I was growing up, and they really always just wanted to help people feel better. I just always wanted to help people feel better. And my mother also encouraged that, through our education and training as her children. So there was a little bit of bias from my parents as well. But I just enjoy seeing people feel better, and feeling better is holistic, really, David. It's not just about the physical health. There's a mental health part of it, and so even for the hepatitis patients, regardless of how they acquired it, I want them to know that there's no judgment, with me. It will be just a one-on-one tailored treatment plan, and we will work with them. And if they are too advanced along, we have gastroenterology specialists and hepatology specialists as well, that are on board to help us make sure this is successful. And we also have a pharmacy All Care Pharmacy, who is, they are very amazing. They're going to be delivering the medications to the patients on their door. You know, yeah. So I'm really excited about this. I think it will make a huge difference.
Well, there's no doubt that you talk about making a huge difference, that Dr. Doreen Camoga is making a huge difference in Batesville, Arkansas, to White River Health System and the WRMC Internal Medicine Clinic. We thank you for your time. If somebody needs to see you,
Right.
Dr. Camoga, how do we do that? How do we get an appointment to see you?
Right. So I have to look at the piece of paper. I don't have the number memorized, David, but they will call the White River Medical Center Internal Medicine Clinic at 870-262-1510 to schedule an appointment.
That is awesome stuff. Well, anyway, congratulations on being in Batesville, Arkansas. And we're just, you mentioned about growing up on a farm and being kind of like out in the country. That's what you are right here in Batesville and Newport and surrounding areas. It's just good old common people right here. Welcome to the state of Arkansas. Welcome to Batesville, and welcome to White River Health System in Batesville, Arkansas. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, David. I appreciate your time.
Well, again, I get to visit with Mr. Paul Strecker from the Dairy Queen, the Grill and Chill in Batesville. And Paul, it's always my pleasure to get to come up and come to DQ and get to see you and get me a few freebies while I'm here. And
yeah, that's right.
So tell us what we're drinking here tonight.
Well, we're drinking two new drinks that have come out of Dairy Queen. It's called Mango, and this one right here is the Mango. This one is Lemonade and Mango, which is a different drink. Same flavor. It's very good. People have told us that they really enjoy both flavors. So that's something new that we've come out with recently since the last interview with David and Linda.
Here, does Dairy Queen make recommendations on these deals and say we're going to do these for a period of time, or where they say this is going to be on the menu until? How does that work? How do you get these?
Well, what they do a test market.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly how long the test market runs, but they pick certain stores in certain districts that they have divided up in the United States, and they try them out, and then they, like I say, they put them in the store, and they get the results from people drinking them or eating sandwiches, and that's how they determine. I think this will be a permanent drink.
Okay. I know that when I have visited with Tammy and Sharon in the past, sometimes Dairy Queen in Batesville, and depending on what part of the United States you're in, may have something. You go to another part of the United States and they don't have those.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's just like Texas, started out in the beginning with Dairy Queen, and they have the Mexican tacos and stuff like that, and they're the only state in in the United States that has that, because the man who has the franchise for Texas from the beginning of Dairy Queen, his family won't give that up. But in other states, they have bought companies out, like in Missouri and other places. They bought their franchise up, so they want every Dairy Queen to have the exact same products.
Well, I do know this, that I've eaten at a lot of Dairy Queens, and I've said this on this program many times, and with all of our travels, down through the years, following our kids in baseball and whatsoever, we've eaten at a lot of Dairy Queens and had treats at lots of Dairy Queen, and I promise you, you can't get a better Dairy Queen than the one that's sitting right here in Batesville, Arkansas. It's pretty good right here, isn't it?
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
So tell us what else we've got on the list.
Okay,
some of the things we've got to talk about.
Really, the best thing that Dairy Queen has, with all the increases that we've had in the past of oil and gas and freight going up, that you see a lot of things going up. Well, Dairy Queen has the $6 lunch,
yes,
which includes like a double cheeseburger or single cheese, single bacon, chicken strips. And all this comes with French fries and gravy, and if you get the chicken dinner, and also it just comes complete with a drink. But now you can upgrade the drink to $1 and get a small blizzard.
Okay. Okay.
So that's something different.
Well, who doesn't want a small blizzard? Well, how much more does it cost to get a double-sized blizzard? I guess you can get 2 smalls for $2.
You got it.
Yes, sir. What else we got on the special for the month of April?
Well, now talking about the blizzards, we've got a frosted animal cracker blizzard, which is really good, and a brownie batter, which I really like, is really great. And then they've got cotton candy and raspberry fudge. And then a Girl Scout cinnamon candy blizzard.
Wow.
Is what we've got. And so that's really what we have so far this month going on. And, you know, really the $6 lunch is really a heck of a bargain if you go around and check and see, you know, by the time you get the meal and the French fries and the drink, and it's just all that together combination.
And this is not, and most people have had the $6 lunch, and if you've never done that, I mean, you can go into a buffet and you can eat all you want for about $13 or $14, or you can come in here and you can buy a $6 lunch, and you're going to get full on a $6 lunch the same way you would on a buffet somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't eat any more than the $6 lunch, and if you have to eat 2 of them, you're still saving money.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, you get a lot for $6, and I mean that includes the drink, and then
the French fries.
Yeah. But I like the upgrade. I like the $1 upgrade. You know?
Yeah.
that to a blizzard.
Get that blizzard.
And you mentioned animal cracker blizzard. I have is that obviously new?
Yeah, that's
Have
new.
we had it before?
No. No, we've never had that I know of.
Did you come up with that and tell Derek when we were going to do that? Because that sounds so good to me. Animal cracker blizzards.
Well, as much as you like to eat, you know. And
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, we're at the Dairy Queen to Grill and Chill, and we certainly appreciate all your business. And we want to say our thoughts and prayers are with Tammy, and hope that she can get back to work soon. And you know, miss her. And but I love the Strecker family, and you know, in all fairness to all those people involved, come do a little business with these folks, because you don't get any better than you guys. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. I enjoyed doing all this with you and your brother in the past.
As Paul Strecker is at the Dairy Queen, the Grill and Chill in Batesville. For years, the battle has raged about who has more spirit, Newport Greyhound fans or the Batesville Pioneer fans. Let's see if we can go find out.
I was a student trainer for the Pioneers, and I can tell you that no other team plays with as much heart and soul as they do. Go Pioneers!
I've been a Greyhound football fan for over 50 years, and we all know there's magic in those orange helmets.
50 years, I didn't know we were competing on who had the oldest fans. Thought we were talking about who had the best team. And you're going to need some magic, because Pioneer never quits. Give me just a second, I'm allergic to dogs. I've been sneezing all day. Hang on. Yeah, Pioneer never quits.
Greyhounds have the best fans because we keep the tradition going from generation to generation.
The Pioneers have my heart, and the coaches dream of this game all year long.
Yeah, they're dreaming about winning.
I was a Pioneer cheerleader, and I know the Pioneer fans are always on point.
As a former Greyhound lineman, I learned that Newport fans and the players always have each other's back. I'll pass on being anything other than a Greyhound.
While this score may never be settled, one thing is for certain. Both have limitless enthusiasm for their teams and their towns. And at the end of the game or the workday, we are not divided by our differences, but united by our passions. Customized vision care in the Newport Village Mall in Newport, Arkansas. This is Dr. Gavin McDowell. He is the optometrist here, the owner, the operator, the, what else should I call you?
There's that high dollar
comedic
education, vocabulary.
Yeah, go ahead.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, you go right ahead. Sure shot lethargic. You said you weren't feeling quite well yesterday.
I was not myself yesterday.
Yeah, you were lethargic.
Now I'm spry.
Spry little fellow he is. The spry little fellow the doctor is today. Yes, sir. So the doctor is doing well.
I'm doing well today, yes.
Good,
yes,
good.
Thank you.
Being a doctor, I'm sure you've checked your heart and your blood pressure and everything today.
It's always high.
Yes.
I have 3 kids.
High pressure job, raising 3 kids for sure.
Yes.
Raising 3 kids. We were thought about talking about some, what I always call it, eye vision care, or just vision care, or eye care, either one. But we thought
we just
talk about something else.
It's a marriage of the two.
I want you to tell everybody about your happy birthday singing at the Apollo Theater.
Yeah.
In New York City. Great story. I didn't believe him, but he did it. I've got evidence. Go right ahead and tell us.
What is your evidence then?
You told me.
Okay.
Good enough for me.
All right.
That's good enough.
All right then. I can't wait to think of a few other things to tell you. Anyway. Now, my wife and I went on a weekend trip to New York City, and the group we were on a tour with we kind of intermingled with 2 other tour groups. This is back when you could do that type of thing.
Right.
You know, crowds and stuff.
But
right
on a bus.
One of the stops of the tour was at the Apollo Theater, and we sat in the audience seating and I can't remember the man's name to save my life. But anyway, he was talking about the history of the Apollo Theater, and he's like, you know what? Let's have an impromptu singing competition, just like they normally have on their open mic night or whatever. And on the trip with us was 3 generations of women, and they were celebrating the matriarch's 90th birthday over the trip. And I said spry earlier. This 90-year-old woman could flat keep up with everybody and run circles.
Right?
She was spry. But anyway, since they were celebrating her birthday, I said, you know what? I'll get up there and sing, because you can get up there and sing anything you wanted.
Sure.
So I said, I'll get up there and sing as long as Miss, and I can't remember her name either. We talked about this last time. I can't remember names. Chuck? Anyway.
Robert. Good day, Robert.
So I'll go sing as long as Miss So and So will go with me. And she had this dazed, confused look on her face. And as we walked up the stage, like, it'll be fun. We'll just figure something out. And so some teenager in front of us who had some singing ability did a great job. Would not have gotten the hook. And then it was our turn to follow. We had to follow that, and so I stepped up and said, all right, if everybody will help join in and help me on this, we're going to sing Happy Birthday. So we all sang Happy Birthday to the woman. So I sung on the stage of the Apollo Theater in New York City.
That is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know of anybody else, and I know a lot of people that have ever done that. That's pretty neat.
I thought so too. I thought to myself, I can't pass this opportunity up, so I had to think of something. So, yeah.
You can tell that story to your kids, to your grandkids, to people that really don't care about stuff like that.
Yeah.
To people like me that it kind of intrigues.
Next time we need to talk about the time I foiled a pharmacy heist. Oh, yes. There we go.
I know that story, too. You talking about a bunch of detectives.
Oh, I wouldn't call us detectives. That was a haphazard group.
Yeah, it was a haphazard. That was an interesting story.
We were not the A team. We were the B team.
No, y'all weren't. You might have thought you were way up that ladder, but you weren't.
We were the
I knew a lot of guys that read on that, so
yeah.
We'll tell that story next time.
You bet.
But I do want you to mention about you being honored as most likely to succeed in the annual.
I was voted most likely to succeed from a class from a high school that I didn't attend.
That's pretty
I was
awesome.
put on their yearbook cover and everything.
I mean, you've got to be real good. I mean, people have got to
yeah.
really know that you're going to succeed when you're voted that, and it's the cover shot of the yearbook for a different school you didn't go to. I mean, how
I was
did that
also
happen?
voted most likely to travel in time by the class of 2033.
This guy has got it today. Sometimes we do talk about eyewear.
Eye vision.
Eye vision. Sometimes we do talk about
cataracts. Sometimes we do talk about 20/20 vision.
Glaucoma, macular degeneration,
Yeah.
dry eyes,
But that's
allergies.
Allergies?
Right now is a great time to talk about allergies.
What about allergies?
They,
we have them.
We have them right now.
Yeah. I noticed a lot of them, not particularly the allergies, but the things that cause the allergies just go whoosh
Yes.
on your car already.
You can literally, I'm up very early most mornings and it's dark and I still carry a little hand torch when I'm out and you can see pollen like rain. It looks, or snow I guess would be a better example.
Yes.
It's nasty out there.
Stuff's just really not good for your whole body, and it's definitely not good for your eyes.
Yeah, it makes your eyes itch, burn, get really dry. For the most part, I tell people go get just a lubricating drop. Start with that.
Right.
Just flush the eyes, keep them flushed, and most people think, okay, I'll go get some Visine.
It gets the red out.
It gets the red out. It also makes the eyes dry and burn faster, quicker. So just a lubricating drop. And use it like you're going to win something. Yeah, just keep the eyes flushed. You can't overdose on them.
Really?
You could drink it and probably be okay. Works better if you get it in your eye, but I mean, you could drink it and it'd be all right.
So that happens this time of year, and
Yep.
and how long does that season usually last? Is that a month?
Well, here in Arkansas, about 11 and a half months. Well, there's different pollens at different times. You know, toward the fall and winter, you get all this weird kind of tree pollen, and then this time it's just more, you know, all these pretty flowers blooming and trees budding. And
I normally don't get bothered a lot during the course of the year, but in the late, I mean, I guess you'd call it the late, not the early summer, but the early summer, late spring, it bothers me a little.
Yeah, when the humidity starts going up, it ramps that up some. Yeah.
So just drops.
Just drops.
Not Visine.
Not Visine.
It may get the red out, but it doesn't help anything else, does it?
I don't even know why people want to get the red out.
Yeah.
It's just, if your eyes are red, there's a reason they're red.
My eye gets red occasionally because of glaucoma.
Yeah.
And I don't use Visine to get the red out.
Exactly. If you limp because your leg's broken, you don't take something to get rid of the limp without addressing why the leg's broken. So if your eye's red, it's red for a reason. Figure out what's going on with that.
Tell me about contact lens and how we fit people here, if we can fit them, and if we can't fit them, what do we do? I'm in the market for contact lens, and I said, look, I want to call 523-3333. I want to come up and see you. I've never worn them before, or I've tried to wear them before, and nobody could ever get me, fitted for them correctly. And I want to come to you, Dr. McDowell. What can you do to help me?
We will try every contact lens imaginable until you cry uncle. And if none of them fit, you don't have to pay for any of them.
You don't pay. No. So it's just guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Well, I'm not going to guarantee them will fit you.
No, we'll guarantee it.
You know, you come in here with one eye here and one eye here, and it's all shaped like a pyramid. I'm not putting a contact lens on that sucker. But I mean, if there's a lens out there that'll fit you, we'll find it. And if we can't find it, then no harm, no foul.
And you always say that the patient will quit before you will.
Yeah.
And so, look, I'm tired of this. I can't wear them. And years ago, the evolution of the contact.
Oh, boy. It started out as a glass.
Very beginning.
Oh.
Talk about the early days.
Well, we were
Who
dumb.
would put that in your eye?
Well, we couldn't put cactus leaves in there for some reason, so we had to put a piece of glass that could shatter and permanently scar you in there. But they eventually went to what's called a rigid gas permeable. Right. Think of it like a plastic. And man, I've had we call them RGPs. I've had one in my eye twice. There won't be a third time. Ooh. I'm not putting an RGP in my eye. Those are the most uncomfortable things ever because it feels like something's in your eye. You know why?
Because something's
in
your eye. Something's in your eye.
But then they came out with the soft ones, and that they got a lot more comfortable, and fitting was a little bit more nuanced. It's just a rigid. Okay, it's a rigid lens, so we got a rigid way of fitting it. Now there's a lot of tweaks and stuff we can do to get it more comfortable and find ways to alter how it rides on the eye. They do make a hard lens now. It's a rigid gas permeable again, but it's larger. Imagine that. Instead of it being a teeny tiny lens that goes on, it basically rests on the white part of the eye. It's fantastic for some, If you are a very difficult patient to fit a contact lens on, especially the soft ones, and you are hell or high water, I'm wearing contact lenses, the what's called a scleral fit lens is now an option, and they do wonders.
But it's bigger, so then you got to get
oh
wider.
yeah, you got to. That's not one of those. Oh, pop on in. We'll teach you how to put that in. That's one of those. I'll probably send you to a specialist for one of those. But
really?
Yeah. But that's. I mean, we'll run through every lens we can find.
You can't get that offer in very many places in this world when we say it's free unless we make it right.
Yeah.
And if we get you where you say, I really like these contact lenses, then you can
Exactly.
find it. Then you can
Just
find
don't show up like on a Thursday saying, I want some colored contact lenses in my prescription. I'm
Tomorrow.
leaving on a cruise tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You can't get that done, can you?
That's not happening.
No. But if
Have realistic expectations.
And the realistic expectations would be maybe a week or so to get those
Yeah.
in.
Well, if it's a colored one,
Maybe a little longer.
it's gonna be. They got to make those suckers. They don't just mass produce those and have them on a shelf.
Right.
in the
And
factory.
transportation has not been quite.
Oh,
so-
my chickens. True story.
Let's hear it.
True story. We have a patient who is called at least 3 times a day for the last week and a half, wanting to know if her glasses are in.
Mm-hmm. Hadn't made it yet.
Hadn't made it.
In
We
transportation.
really anticipate them kind of anytime, but there's no way of knowing now. I mean, we can see kind of when things are shipped, but they are not coming in like they used to.
It's amazing.
We still aren't there.
It's amazing how slow it has gotten, and I guess that's just part of the COVID world that we live in. And
Yeah.
we'll make adjustments as we go.
Have to.
Anything else that we need to talk about that has to do with our business end of your vision care? Hey, do you hear me? Vision care.
Vision, I'm liking
Vision care.
You really ramped
Hey,
up.
I'm good, aren't I?
You got a thesaurus over the weekend.
I didn't I?
Nice. No. Nah.
Nothing.
Nah.
He's Dr. Gavin McDowell. He has nothing left.
I got nothing to say.
But let me tell you what. I'm happy to know that I know someone that has been on the stage in New York City at the Apollo Theater. Not only on the stage, but got to sing
I
on
performed.
the stage.
That's not
performance.
yeah.
A performance, not just
let's
singing.
not
a
let's not
performance.
whittle it down to where I just sang. I performed in front of a live audience on the Apollo stage.
How many people do you know that I know that did what he did? Customized vision care in the Newport Village Mall. If you need any advice on anything besides eye care, you can come here. Or if you need some advice on that too, we give that. Thank you.
I'm
my
very
friend.
opinionated. I'll
You
be
are
happy.
that. Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Unity Health Harris Medical Center report each and every month here on Cable 15 TV, right here on Facebook. And we're joined by Leanna Heisler, who has a very interesting story about how she got to where she is today. First of all, welcome.
Thank you.
First of all, second of all, I guess, tell us a little bit about you, tell us a little bit about your family, and tell us a little bit about part of the journey of how you got to where you are now. Pediatrics at Unity Health Harris Medical Center.
Well, I've always lived in the Newport community, me and my husband. He was raised here.
Right.
And so I went to Tuckerman School District, graduated, and knew early on from high school that I wanted to be in the healthcare field. Knew I wanted to be a nurse from early on. And then in 2003, got my LPN degree out here at A-State.
Mm-hmm.
And then did that till 2006, decided to go further, got my RN degree out here at RNEC, and then worked in the nursery department here until 2018, decided I wanted to go further for my APN, wanted to help children, and got my APN, and here I am today.
Well, I always ask it, you know, when I talk to APRNs and doctors and those people that are taking care of people, where along the way did you decide that's what I'd like to do? I mean, so was there a striking point at some point?
There was. Always working in the nursery, you know, you do acute care. And these little babies, I mean, you send them home, sometimes you transfer them to Children's Hospital, and I wanted to know more about them. I wanted to see what the outcome was. And I don't know, it just intrigued me, and I wanted to be hands-on with them, and so I knew that I wanted to go further. That way I could have that opportunity to do that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. When you talk about pediatrics, kind of tell us about ages that you treat and what you see here.
From birth to age 21.
Okay.
And so I get to watch them grow up, and it's amazing.
Well, tell me about being here at Harris Medical and how that's worked for you. And I know you love it here, and you lived here most of your life, and you grew up here and as such. But tell us about working here and what's important to you.
I love Newport. In 2003, when I got my nursing degree, I immediately became an employee of Unity Health here.
Right.
And I have been here ever since.
Wow.
I love the close-knit family of the employees. In fact, whenever you're working 12-hour shifts, the employees here feel more like your family than what's at home. And I love it. And, I have 3 children. I raised 2 of my boys. They graduated from Newport. I'm currently have a little girl here at Newport. And this is home,
I was going to ask about family, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And of course, Calvin, your husband, works at the school. And,
He does.
And,
He does.
He's been there a long time.
He has. He's over the transportation department, and he's always been here, and it's just, this is our community.
So tell me about treating in pediatrics. I mean, just give me a synopsis of what all pediatrics, what is pediatrics, and what do you treat in those people who are from birth to 21 years old?
I do wellness exams,
Okay.
yearly wellness, just making sure that, they're on track with their milestones, their immunizations if needed. And I also do from colds to just any kind of concern that the mother has for that child, I treat.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you can see at the bottom of your screen the number to get a hold of Leanna if you need her services, and we certainly recommend her here at Harris Medical Center, Unity Health Harris Medical Center. And I thank you so very much for taking time to join us, and congratulations on your journey, and I think it's a great journey for you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm ready to get started and be what I can do and to help the community.
Leanna Heisler at Unity Health. St. Michael's Place, North Pecan Street in Newport. This is Jay Cox right over here. He's a familiar face. And this gentleman here is a familiar face, Dr. Roger Green. Jay, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
We bring the status quo to a high standard here today to get to visit
Yes.
with Dr. Green.
It is. It is. And everybody thought he was retired, but we've got a secret to unveil.
Let's talk a little bit about the secret before I talk with Doc.
All right. Well, one of the good things about St. Michael's Place and what's going on now is that we are allowing visitors back in. It's been a while since you've been in the building.
Yes.
And so just having you in the building is a step in the right direction. We've been talking for months because of the COVID and the pandemic has hit that we've not been able to allow visitors in, and now under certain regulations we can allow visitors in, so family members are coming in to see their loved ones, which has really boosted the morale of not only staff but residents, and so things are going really well here at St. Michael's Place, and so we just want to let Newport know that everything's going well here, and we're just growing and moving forward, and we're just glad to have family members and citizens are coming. Family is coming in, but also friends. People that haven't come in and seen their friends in a long time are also able to come in. So not just a blood relative, but also friends can come in as well. So, and there's certain regulations. We're following social distance guidelines, with the exception of us sitting right here, and that's kind of funny. But
well, we're social distance.
We are somewhat, but also. We check your temperature at the door and different things. So we are following some regulation rules and things, when you come in. But you can come visit, and so that's a big plus for what's going on here. Right now, there are no COVID cases in the building, and so that is 100% a good thing for us, and so we're excited about that. So things are looking up here. One thing that is really good for us, and you don't see this in a lot of nursing homes and rehab centers, is we now have Dr. Green here full-time on staff, and he has an office here and an exam room here, and so we are very privileged to get to have him with us. And so he's semi-retired, I guess we'd say. And so I'll let him talk more about how much he's here and what he does and things like that. Everybody knows Dr. Green, and so we are privileged to have him here with us all the time.
Dr. Green, last time I visited with you over at the hospital on your last day, you told me you wanted to continue to work, and here you are.
Still working.
So tell me about it. Tell me how's it going, and tell me what are you doing here?
I enjoy it a lot. I come out here every day. They have me in office here, and they hired my wife to work with me, keep me straight.
Yeah, they hired her. They hired her to take care of you.
Yeah,
right.
And so I enjoy coming out here. I've been on the staff here since it opened in 1964, I think.
Been seeing patients out here for a long, long time, and this is the first time you've been a full-time doctor here. And I mean, that's a little change, but I mean, tell us about a work day. Tell me what your work day's like, because I know you work all the time when you work.
I come in at 8 every morning, and they have me a nice office here, and I can go to the office and I can see any patient that needs to be seen, or I can read or watch TV back there by the office too.
We set him up right.
I guarantee you.
It's very comfortable. You could take a nap back there, but I don't do that.
Doc, you've spent a lifetime, and you said you've been here since 1964 taking care of patients. You've spent a lifetime, and I think most people know that you've been here. You've taken care of me for millions of years, but there's a lot of folks that you've taken care of, depended on you and your staff, and you continue to do what you love. Talk a little bit about your love for taking care of people.
I really enjoy what I do. I always have, and I'm thankful that I'm still able to practice, and I appreciate the nursing home giving me an office here, and I can come to work every day and work. Come in at 8 o'clock and stay all day, just like I have for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Well, I know when Doc first sat down, I said, Doc, now that I got you here, I got a few questions I need to ask you, just like this is a doctor's visit. Need a little advice here.
Yeah.
Need a little advice. You've given a lot of advice to a lot of people over the years.
And I've enjoyed it, and I hope I can keep doing it for a long time yet.
Jay, a big plus for St. Michael's Place, no doubt. Talk about that.
Yes, it is, and they come in and they round every day that they're here, and I know at least Monday through Friday I see them. I'm off on the weekend, so and it wouldn't surprise me to see them up here on the weekend as well. But they're here and they're making rounds, seeing patients, and that's just they were readily available when their practice was down the street. Anytime we needed them, they were always readily available. Dr. Green is our medical director and has been for some years. But now that they're here, any question we have is just right down the hall. Or if we need something, if there's a resident that's facing something right away, he's right there. It's an added security having a doctor right here in the facility. And like I said, most nursing homes don't have that. And we're privileged here in Jackson County to be the only home that does have that. And so St. Michael's, we're solid, we're here, not going anywhere, and it's a privilege to have Dr. Green with us.
Yeah, no doubt. And you said they have a doctor, and then you mentioned you've got the doctor.
Yes.
You've got the doctor, yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Green, congratulations on your new endeavor, and I know you'll do great. I know that the facility will love you and Kathy both being here, and I know the patients will love the care that you provide them. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. It's my privilege. I enjoy coming out here every day.
And we're glad you're here.
St. Michael's Place with a new addition, and it's the Greens. It's Dr. Green and Kathy Green, and again,
He takes care of the patients. Kathy takes care of him, so everything's going to be good. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Jay Cox.
Top of the line care. We're glad they're here.
Absolutely. St. Michael's Place in Newport.